Oh man. Oh man, it's bad, man, and I'm tight. I'm yo, high levels of festivity. Let me know if I'm good. Let me know if the audio's good. Let me know if the visual's good. We got some things to talk about. And man, I'm angry right now. I'm very angry right now. Very angry right now. We don't even have to tank, man. Peterson, we don't have to tank. We, we don't have to lose on purpose. We're getting beat, man. We're getting beat at home. At home. 0-4 at home for the season. 3 points is what you gave that home crowd. 3 points. The New York Browns, man. The New York Browns. That's what we are right now. The New York Browns. 3 points. Saquon Barkley had a field day. And that's not even that's bad. That's bad. But how many of y'all, right? How many of y'all in that first quarter were reeled in? This game started off with 7 straight punts between both teams. 7 straight punts. The defense, you couldn't ask for a better start for the defense in that first quarter. We had 3 possessions in the first quarter and nothing. Brian Daboll went right back to that Cincinnati Bengals bag and thought he could get some new results from that. We start the game off with 4 straight passes. 4 straight passes. We start the first play of the game was empty backfield. How do you have 12 personnel in an empty backfield? Mind you, he did hit Malik Neighbors on the first play of the game for that did happen. I don't know, man. I'm upset about a lot of things. The offense, most of all, the offense. The defense held on as long as they could. I still got some smoke for the defense too, but you can't ask for a better start than what we got from our defense against this team. You can't add to me right now. Brian Daboll is cooked. Absolutely 100% cooked. Cooked. He's passing when we should be running. In the third quarter, he's running when we should be passing. We're down 17-3 in the third quarter, and there's 7 minutes left, and you ran the ball 3 straight times. Mind you, we did get the first down. We did get a first down. Why? What is going on? How do you go from coach of the year, the first time you get here, coach of the year, and then you turn into this? I don't understand. And yes, I understand that Andrew Thomas was not in. I understand that Josh Azudu was trash. But come on, man. We would chip. We use the tight ends to chip when Andrew Thomas is in, and you don't do that for Azudu. First play of the game, 12 personnel, double tights. They lined up on the right side, and then you go empty backfield in motion, and then wonder why you get pressure off the left side. What are you doing, Daboll? Why aren't you chipping, Daboll? And then at halftime, the halftime reporter spoke to Brian Daboll, and he's talking about being able to chip, and you still don't chip. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I've been defending Brian Daboll. I can't do it anymore. Man. What kind of game plan is that? What type of game plan? It didn't work against the Cincinnati Bengals. What made you think it would work against the Philadelphia Eagles? There's a lot to talk about, man. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of fingers to point at, and I got enough fingers to point at everything that went wrong. But what are we absolutely doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? I don't understand what I just watched. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing what we just watched. And it's week after week after week. It's embarrassing. And guess what? My man Sean Lee says, yo, it's obvious that Dabes is tanking. Guess what? If Dabes tanks, he's gone too. He can't make it. He can't make it out of this season. It's kind of like how Doug Peterson, when he tanked that season, with Jalen Hurts after they won the Super Bowl. He got fired for tanking. Like, Daboll is not safe. He can't tank and survive. It's not possible. Not when it's looking like this. And there's a lot of, and guess who gets to hide right now? Joe Schoen gets to hide in his office right now. He doesn't have to go to the podium. He doesn't have to answer questions. Why are our backups who they are? Why is the Zudu still on this team? When you knew we already, like, Joe Schoen made it known that he was trying to get a quarterback, but he really wasn't trying to get. But your backup selection is Drew Lock, and we saw what Drew Lock looked like today, and that's another thing. When the Dallas Cowboys was beating us 40-0 in 2023, he kept Daniel Jones in the game. We're losing 28-3, and he pulls Daniel Jones to put Drew Lock in there. Why did he do that? What was the purpose? What was the purpose for it? What was the purpose for it? Shout out to my man JCNYC. He said, didn't watch the game. Was this most on the line, or it was on everybody? Everybody. And for me, it starts with Brian Daboll. From the first play of the game, your game plan was flawed. From the first play of the game, you knew who you had on that offensive line. You had Joshua Zudu on the offensive line. The first play of the game, I sat back on my couch and I said, oh no. The only thing that gave me any kind of joy, happiness, or positivity was how the defense started off. And they held on, same thing as with the Bengals. They held on for so long until they couldn't anymore. They had Saquon Barkley swallowed up for the first quarter. And almost, before he broke that 65-yarder, he was only averaging like 1 yard a carry. And then he does what Saquon Barkley does. 1 yard, 2 yards, negative yards. The defense was cooking. Dexter Lawrence was cooking. Brian Burns had 2 big plays in the first on their first drive. He had the batted pass and a sack. Complimentary football out the window. None. You didn't see any of it. At home, again, in front of this home crowd, you did it again for the 4th time this season. If I'm a season ticket holder, listen, I don't know, man. I don't know. Shout out to Sydney. Sydney says, Brian Daboll, he said, I got to check the tape. What tape? What tape is the man looking at? Banks open, 365. And there was one hustle play from Banks. There was one hustle play from Banks. I believe it was on the Jalen Hurts scramble at like the third quarter. He just ran past. He just let Hurts run right past him. Like, what was the effort? So not only were the banks open on Sunday, it's like the ATMs were broken and spitting out cash. It was just bad all the way around. I don't understand. I don't understand how the New York Giants can be this bad. Actually, I'm being facetious. I do understand how the New York Giants can be this bad. But what I don't, how you can have such a split or a gap between how good the defense can play at their best versus what we're getting from the offense. And now superstition has crept in. Now, we just can't play in front of the home crowd. The home crowd is too much pressure. Are you kidding me? We can't have these type of excuses, man. It's a wrap. I'm done. And again, this is the right after the game. My emotions are high right now. I'm highly emotional right now. And going by the chat, I can see that there's a lot of people that are highly emotional as well, but rightfully so. 28-3. And then when you go into the half, like, and why does this happen all the time? We 2-minute drill. That's the best ball the New York Giants play is in the 2-minute drill. Right before the end of the first half, all of a sudden we go up tempo. Daniel Jones looks decent. We get right down the field, and guess what? It only took him 50-something seconds to get down the field. Why aren't we going up tempo from the jump? Why aren't we doing that? But even then, you settle for the field goal. That lets me know exactly how you feel about Daniel Jones. Because what difference did that 3 points make? None at all at the end of the day. Go for the touchdown there. Mr. Dabolls. Dabolls is what they tried to call him, right? Where are your balls? Gone, clipped, neutered. What happened to you? I don't understand, man. I don't understand. What you gotta laugh to stop from crying, man. That's how I feel, man. Offense is horrible. Horrible. I'm gonna get to these comments in a sec. You guys got the thing flooded, man. I got to get caught up some kind of way. But again, I was defending Daboll, putting a lot of the blame on just Daniel Jones, and Daboll can't call a play. Look what he's working with. He's working with DJ. No, from the first play of the game, it was flawed. It was flawed. You knew Azudu was out there, and this is what you come up with. And then we got to turn around. Now we got to look at Nick Sirianni. We got to look at Nick Sirianni now, talking to the crowd, smiling and laughing. I don't know what's worse, him or Barkley out there. What's worse? Barkley gets 176 yards. 176 yards. But again, if you watch the beginning of that game, the defense gave you everything you needed. Everything you needed, the defense gave you. That game started off with 7 straight punts between both teams. The New York Giants had 4 sacks in the first half. Yeah, the Eagles also had 5 sacks in the first half. But guess what their quarterback did? He gave the playmakers a chance. A chance. He gave the playmakers a chance. Now, that was a push-off. I would say that was a push-off by A.J. Brown. Also, the push-off for Theo Johnson, but they only called one. And listen, and it's not even about the ref. I don't even want to blame the refs for one play. But it was just disgusting, nasty, just nasty work. Nasty work from the New York Giants. Nasty work from that offense. And guess what? Yes, the defense did give up at the end. At the very end, the defense gave up. 14, they gave up the 14 points again. 2 big plays changed this game. 2 big plays that the defense gave up. The big play to Barkley, and then the big pass for A.J. Brown. When you got one-on-one coverage with McLeod on 4th down, and you know what it did? It took me back to 2022 when the Philadelphia Eagles went on another 4th down, and it was A.J. Brown again, or was it Devontae Smith? And that's when who was the safety then? Love. That's when Love missed the tackle, and we gave up the touchdown on 4th down. It gave me those same type of vibes. And now look at us. 2-5 on the season, 0-4 at home. We got the Steelers next week. We got the Commanders after that. And then we go into Germany for the Carolina Panthers. The only question I have now is, does Brian Daboll survive the season? That's the only question I have right now. Does Brian Daboll make it through the season? Like, just think about it. We got Steelers next week. How do you feel about that game? I don't feel good about that game. And I don't even know who the quarterback is for real. Next game, Commanders. We already lost to the Commanders once. And then now the Carolina Panthers, one game I thought was absolutely in the bag. I don't know how I feel about the Carolina Panthers game anymore in Germany. What's going on, man? When you need this team to show up, we don't have – listen, and I might be overreacting. This could be an overreaction Sunday. You guys let me know if I'm overreacting. You better win at least one of the next 3 games, or you might not make it past the bye. And I'm talking about Brian Daboll. And before I felt a way about it, but I don't feel a way about it anymore. I wanted to save Brian Daboll. No, I'm sorry. You could put him and Daniel Jones on the same bus. Put them on the same bus and drive it somewhere far. Drive it somewhere far. James the Giant said we're undefeated overseas. That's hilarious. That's true, but that's hilarious. Maybe. But how good do you feel after that? I don't know. I don't know, Anthony. Save him. I don't know. I felt like, at least he didn't lose the locker room, or at least, the team is playing a little bit better. Daniel Jones is just bad. That's where I was at. That's where I was at. But 2 weeks in a row, he's in this horrible bag of offensive play calling 2 weeks in a row at home. no adjustments. And I said it earlier, passing when you should be running, and then running when you should be passing. He is absolutely lost out there. Absolutely lost. Mickey says, Coach Killer Jones. Yeah, the coach, Jones is not helping at all, but the coach ain't helping himself either. Either. And then you really try to throw Drew Lock in there at the end of the game. For what? Jones is sitting there with his helmet off. He's watching, and then Drew Lock gets in there in the fourth quarter. What, 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter? And he looks horrible too. But you know what? I didn't expect him to look good, because what kind of rhythm does he have with the players? And the other thing, he didn't sit any other starters either. You're not going to trick me, Brian Daboll. You're not going to trick me, because this is what I honestly do believe, right? I honestly do believe, had Drew Lock gone in there and did a little bit of something, maybe scored a touchdown in garbage time, it would get people talking more about how bad Daniel Jones is, and maybe Drew Lock can do it. But no, Drew Lock looked horrible too. And what does that do? That points the finger right back at Brian Daboll, and also points the finger way up in the office at Joe Schoen as well, because that's the guy you decided to run with as the backup quarterback. When it was guys like Minshew out there still. I don't even blame Tyrod Taylor. He wasn't coming back after they pulled the whole DeVito debacle last year. And Brian Daboll thought, signing Tyrod Taylor was just going to be something that was easy to do. Tyrod Taylor was like, no, y'all disrespecting me. I'm not coming back. And now he's sitting there with the Jets. What did he say in the post game? Robbie Rotten. What did he say in the post game? Well, he gotta watch the tape. Is that what Brian Daboll said? He gotta watch the tape. I think that's what Sidney was saying. That he said he gotta watch the tape. You know who else had to watch the tape? Judge. Judge had to watch the tape. I'm sick of people talking. I don't need to watch the tape to know what I looked at was trash. Basura, trash. That's what we saw. My man said he wish he was with us now talking about Tyrod Taylor. Oh man. Barkley, the Giant Slayer, says Edward J. Jones. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the 160 people that's in there. Make sure you hit that like button, man. I can see the energy in the chat, man. You guys are upset just like I'm upset, man. Remember what Joe Schoen said? I'm comfortable with this quarterback room. Everybody drinking the same Kool-Aid. I'm comfortable with the quarterback room. This is what you're comfortable with. And people got the nerve to talk about Joe Schoen being safe too, because he finally got a good draft class, or he finally got a draft where some rookies are performing. No, man. Forget performing. Forget getting better. Forget trending in the right direction. Let me know how many games you win. At the end of the day, that's what football is, the winning business, and the New York Giants aren't winning. You gotta be kidding me, man. TD Midas says Cutlets time. It might be Cutlets time, man. At this point, I don't even care. Throw somebody back there to see if we can get a different result. And I did want to say this though. He didn't catch the ball, but who got a shot deep this week? Late in the game, ended up hurting himself too. Who got a target down the field, late down the sideline? Somebody that said they can't get open. Hyde got open down the sideline, didn't catch the ball. It might have been a slight bit overthrown, but he got a target deep downfield, and we were told that there's no targets down the field. But as soon as Drew Lock gets in the game, all of a sudden, Hyde can get a target down the field, and Hyde didn't get a play until the fourth quarter. We didn't see Hyde till the fourth quarter, and look at this. I don't care. I don't care. I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of it. It's crazy. Ray Copeland says, fire Daboll, hire Saleh. Nah, man. And some people, you know what? Some people will go back and blame the defense for, giving up those big plays. And, the defense, they're not blameless in the situation. But when you start the game off against the Philadelphia Eagles, 7 straight punts for both teams, somebody got to capitalize off that, right? Complimentary football, right? Complimentary football. We're not getting that. And if I'm on the defense and I'm doing everything possible to give the offense back the ball, I got to be frustrated with the offense right now. And the one thing that we always said that was going to save Brian Daboll is he does not lose the locker room. He won't lose the locker room. The players are still bought in. The players still trust and believe him. I don't know, man. It got to be some rumblings going on. There has to be some rumblings. And if we don't get some wins, I don't see how it's possible to even do anything else but get rid of this regime. We gave the Eagles back their swagger. The Eagles were playing horribly all year. Yes, they had 3 wins, but they were playing not like the Eagles. And what do? They march into MetLife and they give Jalen Hurts his confidence back. Jalen Hurts was so happy that A.J. Brown got that score. Did you see his reaction? He's been throwing interceptions this season. He was so happy to get the kind of performance. The tush push was successful. The running game was going. The passing game was hitting. Gave the Eagles back their swagger, man. He gave them back the swag. Shout out to my man Joseph. Said, "Hi, coulda, shoulda had the ball, got his chance to make a great catch, but he choked." No, absolutely, he dropped it. Absolutely. But that wasn't my point. My point was he couldn't. They were saying that he couldn't get open. There weren't any targets available for him, and we saw some targets downfield. And we might not see him again. Who knows what he hurt? Looked like it was a hamstring, possibly. It is what it is, man. Listen. I'll be absolutely honest with everybody. This is not the right time. This is not the right time to try to get me to feel a certain way about certain people. I am. It's too fresh right now. This loss is too fresh. I gotta vent. You guys gotta vent too. I understand. Oh man, misusing Bobby O is disgusting. True. Hey, listen. Another play. Another coulda, woulda, shoulda play. Mike Adams, the linebacker, blitz on Jalen Hurts. How does Jalen Hurts escape that sack? How? You know why? Because it's Mike Adams. And who was Mike Adams? Nobody knows. Where was Micah McFadden? Not on the field during that play, but guess who subbed in right after that? Micah McFadden. Sam Hayek says everybody gets better against the Giants. That's what it looks like. Everybody gets better. We give everybody their groove back. Everybody. My man Thomas Derby says we just look like jokes. If you're having a bad season, go play the Giants. You'll feel better at the expense of the Giants fans for sure. By the time the third quarter hit, I went from being excited about the defense, mad about the offense, disgusted by the offense, mad at the defense, and then just depressed by the third quarter. Depressed. Then by the fourth quarter, I was laughing again. That was my roller coaster of emotions for this game. You couldn't ask for a better start from this defense. But again, as soon as I saw the first play of the game on offense, 12 personnel, motion to the empty backfield, I said, "Oh no, Brian Daboll, what are you doing? It worked for one play. One play, first down. Next thing you know, 3 more straight passes, punt. And then after that, punt, punt, punt." That's what it was. Punt. A battle of the punts in the first quarter. Battle of the punts. All it took, and I'm saying to myself, I'm like, yo, these two defenses are just, making both offenses punt. Something's going to give soon. And then we see Saquon Barkley take off for 65 yards. They were the first ones to capitalize. They were the first one to play complimentary football, and we saw what happened. My man Quasi says, what do you do when your quarterback is booty cake? Booty cake is hilarious. Andre says, just by watching Hard Knocks, everybody should have known Saquon was going off on us. Listen, he again, and the way it started off, the defense already knew what type of time Saquon was going to be on, and they answered the bell. Like, again, they couldn't do much of anything. They couldn't do much of anything, the Philadelphia Eagles. They were punting just as much as we were punting. But the first time that a team's offense decided to be complimentary, the best team won. The best team won. I'll leave it at that. James the Giant says, if we had a good offense, we could really put teams to sleep. That's a fact. It's a different kind of game if we can score points. The defense was dog tired by the second quarter. And then after that Saquon Barkley run, they were spent. And that's not an excuse. They gave up that play. But I'm just saying, how would you feel? How would you feel as a defense? You stop a team and stop a team and stop a team, and you keep giving the offense back the ball, and they don't do anything with it. At some point in time, that has to break you. At some point in time, you have to be like, what the hell? King D says, please trade for Matthews. For Matthew Stafford. Yeah, that was a rumor. Started by Giants fans, man. I don't know, man. Quezzy says, we just need at least a halfway decent quarterback. Listen, like I said, the quarterback did not help us today. But the first person I'm pointing my finger at is Brian Daboll for sure. For sure. This game, Brian Daboll, Daniel Jones, offensive line, defense. Yeah. Dennis says, Dash, I couldn't even watch the game after last week. I knew both DJ and Daboll are both BS. It's not nice, man. Just I don't have anything nice to say about the New York Giants today, man. No, not as a team effort. No, absolutely not. TD Minus says, don't trade for no one. Let them suck and get a rookie. Yeah, we're not buyers. We can't be like teams that are in the position that the New York Giants are, and we're sellers during the trade deadline. We're not buyers. If we were 4 and 5 possibly, or something like that around the trade deadline, if we got up to that, then that's one thing. But right now we're sitting at 2. We're sitting at 2 and 5. We're not buyers. We're sellers at the trade deadline, and we're trying to get draft picks most likely. So some of the guys that you're rooting for right now might not even be on the team come the trade deadline. We'll see what happens, though. We'll see what happens. Shout out to James Hollister in the building. He said, I fired Daboll and Joe, bring in Ben Johnson, Cam Ward, and hired GM like Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes not going anywhere. But I understand what you mean. Man. Patrick Grove says, I hate being a fan of our Giants. Man, it hurts, man. It's hard too, man. Pause. To try to get up that positive energy before every game. To will yourself into thinking that, you got a chance, which I absolutely did. Then to see it all fall apart in the second quarter is crazy. We were down 7-0. And my PTSD kicked in. Down 7-0. That's how bad the offense was playing. That as soon as the first time they scored, I was like, man, can we get it? Can we answer these guys? And when we didn't, I was like, you know what? It might get ugly. And sure enough, it got ugly. Like it got really ugly. And the game got ugly before the score got ugly. That's how bad it was. First half, time of possession was a difference of 1 minute. But one team had 14 points and the other team had 3. We had them for third downs. Philadelphia was like 0 for 5 on third downs. I don't know, man. I don't know. Joseph Wilcox says, you're so right, Dash. D can only stand up for so long before it gets tired. That's a fact, man. We saw it the week before. And that's the part that makes me the most mad about it, is because you last week with the Cincinnati Bengals, you did the same. Brian Daboll did the same exact thing. He ran the ball. I'm sorry, he was passing when he should have been running when he should have been passing, and he really didn't make the adjustments. The defense held on for as long as they could. They gave up one big run, and then it was, then after that, it pretty much was what it was. The same game we watched. It just was not even a little bit worse. It was worse because it's the Eagles, and also worse because it was Saquon Barkley. It wasn't just a 47-yard run on a broken defense from Joe Burrow. No, this was calculated. They ran to the outside with Saquon Barkley, and he broke and he broke a long run, and then he also ran it up the middle too. It could be karma. Maybe it's karma. I don't know. Somebody did something in the New York Giants organization. Somebody sold their soul to somebody, because I don't understand how things can be this bad for this long and just look this inept. I don't know. Somebody did something. It has to be some karma somewhere. Shout out to Johnny Lovely. I see you in the chat, bro. My man RTJ R says Daboll got to go. Here you go. Host the Harvard says you literally get the ball at the 30-yard line, and you still can't score. You still can't do it. Here we go. He said, what can he do with the quarterback? He is trash. DJ, Isaiah, I understand, and that is absolutely true. But when you're supposed to be the quarterback guru, you brought in a backup quarterback that you sold to us could be a decent backup. You didn't want to use him. You didn't want to put him in the game. And then knowing that your left tackle was not playing, your all-pro level left tackle was not playing, you have Joshua Zuda, which everybody knows who's trash. You don't chip with the tight ends. You don't help out the left tackle. You run play action when play action isn't working. You know what you have to do in order for play action to work? Run the ball successfully. That's what you do. In order to run the play action, you have to be successful in running the ball. The New York Giants were not successful running the ball, and we ran play action. What happened? 4-5 sacks off the play action? It's not just DJ. Brian Daboll gets some blame in this. Absolutely. He absolutely gets some blame in this. We can't let everybody get it. Can't listen. We already know that Daniel Jones is a problem. We already know that. The problem does not end with Daniel Jones. I thought that. I was on the same thing you was on. I was on that same train. I had a seat right next to you. It's all just Daniel Jones. No. The last couple of games, and even the games that we did, the red zone offense has been awful. The play calling has been awful. The start of the game, the 15, you start the game off, you got 15 plays planned. He has a bad 15 plays planned at the beginning. Yes, DJ is a big blame to this, but Brian Daboll, there's some stain on him too, for sure. For sure. Christopher McKenzie says, Big Dash, what's the answer for this franchise? I've been a fan since 1990. The past 2 decades have been horrible for a once proud franchise. The best and knowledgeable fans in the game, we get this. I don't have an answer right now. I know what's not the answer though, and that's what we're seeing every week. That's not the answer. The people like a lot of people will say, you know what, you fire Brian Daboll. Who you gonna hire in here? Who's gonna come in here? You know, how you expect them to do? I expect them to do better. What do we have to lose? We're 2-5 right now. Like you get so much credit for 2022. That has run its course. You don't get any more credit for being the coach of the year 2022. This is a what have you done for me lately type of business. And are you happy with what you've seen lately? And again, I know a lot of people want to make Daniel Jones a scapegoat. Again, Daniel Jones has been not good. Not good. I will say that at he had a 4-game run where he was playing pretty solid, but at the end of the day, he does not get you where you need to go, where you want to be. And it seems like Brian Daboll is not that guy either. And it also looks like if they decide to keep things going the way that they're going, he will not get a chance to pick the next quarterback like a lot of people are saying. Oh, just let Brian Daboll pick his own quarterback. Let Joe Schoen pick his own quarterback. And a lot of people will still argue that they got a chance to pick their own quarterback when they decided to re-sign Daniel Jones. It just depends on how you're looking at things. It just depends, man. Sydney Angel says karma for sure. We still paying for doing Coughlin dirty. I've heard that a lot as well. Yeah. And he didn't pay Saquon. Man. Sheesh. Joseph says if they're not going to play Neal, trade him for Bryce Young. That offensive line is horrible for the Carolina Panthers too. I don't think they see Neal as any help. And then for me, for Bryce Young, we saw Bryce Young get taken off the field, and then the veteran Andy Dalton come in, and they haven't been winning, but they were able to put up points as soon as Andy Dalton came in. They got a veteran. So how good is Bryce Young? Could he absolutely be a boss? And I'm a bust, and I'm an Alabama fan. I don't know how I feel about Bryce Young. He might not be the answer either. But guess what though? Thinking about a solution is better than what we're getting right now. It's better than what we're getting right now. And you can't run out Joshua Zudu next week against the Steelers at left tackle. That can't happen. Something's gonna have to shake. So either you're gonna bite the bullet and you're gonna put Neal on that left side. I don't want them to switch Illuminor. I want to at least keep some type of continuity on the offensive line. But what are they going to do? Because Azudu is clearly not the answer as a backup. And whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Is that true? Is that true? 119 total yards. Is that true? Oh, man. Dwayne Murphy Jr., shout out to Dwayne. You tried to tell us last night, Dwayne, didn't you? You tried to tell us. But again, I can't do it. No. What Dwayne says, what can Daboll call when he knows what DJ's limitations are? Come on. No. The first play of the game, the strategy, the play calling, the formations. That's Brian Daboll. 12 personnel on the first play of the game. Motion to no back to no backs, empty backfield. And you still keep the tight ends on the right side of the field, not on the left side where your weakness is. And then you get pressure off the left side. Yes, he got the hot read to Malik Neighbors. But what are we doing? That's the first play of the game. Run the ball. Run the ball. We can argue all day about that, man. But yeah, Brian Daboll is not getting past his smoke today. I'm sorry. Not going to happen. Not today. Not today. Tone Lamont says Daboll isn't the guy. Can't let him and Joe choose a quarterback and they get fired after the next season. That's a fact too. Because if they turn around and draft a quarterback and they still look horrible, because at the end of the day, this is year 3 of this regime. This was the year to get a quarterback. Like, I'm glad that we got Malik Neighbors. That's fine. That's dandy. But this is one of those years where you should have got the quarterback, because that buys you a little bit of time. Because okay, well, we're not getting what we're getting out of Daniel Jones, but at least we got this rookie that we drafted. Let's see what the rookie can do. Gives you a little bit of time, buys you a little bit more time. No, now you're sitting here with Drew Lock and Tommy DeVito as your backup quarterbacks, and everybody looks dumb. Everybody got egg on their face. Everybody put all of their eggs in the Daniel Jones basket at the end of the day. Because Brian Daboll was sitting in that office with Steve Tisch and John Mara, and Joe Schoen said, we're just going to, if they're not there, we're just going to get the weapon. We're just going to get the weapon and stick with Daniel Jones. And he looked around the room, and Brian Daboll was sitting back with his foot on the table, coffee table, and just said, "Yeah, okay." So everybody plays a part in this. Nobody was loud enough. Nobody pushed back enough. Even when it came to Saquon Barkley, you saw the pushback on Hard Knocks. Like, that's 90% of our offense walking out the door, and it sound cool. It sound cool when we got all the sound bites, and I fell for it too from Joe Schoen. You're not paying your quarterback $40 million to turn around and hand the ball off to a $13 million quarterback. But that's exactly what Philadelphia did. Exactly what they did. Exactly what they did. Man, okay. I guess somebody mentioned Belichick. Belichick is not it. I'm sorry. I'm not asking for Bill Belichick. No, I'm trying to get as far away from the Bill Belichick tree as possible. As far away. I don't want anything to have to do with Bill Belichick or his tree at all. Shout out to Bill Parcells. I don't want anybody from his tree either. Leave it. We're way past that now. This is not the 80s. This is not the 90s. This is not even the early 2000s, because Coughlin was off of the Parcells tree. That time is gone. It's all about new. Going back to the same bag has done what for us? Haven't given us the results. It worked one time with Tom Coughlin. It hasn't worked again since. Stay away from that Belichick tree. There you go right there. Host of Horror says quick slant, stick routes all year, no creativity. And he's supposed to be a mastermind when it comes to calling offenses. That's what we were told. That's what we kind of believed. We blamed a lot of it on Daniel Jones. But if you know you got a problem, you make the change. But what did you do? You did not change. That's why they got smoke with me still. Joseph says, got to try Neil on the left side after. Yeah, you have to. I don't care how it looks. You have to try at least. Because we saw Azudu. I don't need to see Azudu anymore. We just signed the guy off the practice squad from the 49ers too. Was it Hubbard? I don't know, man. He's not going to be ready to go. Then it says Daboll must go. It's all about survival now, man. We'll see what happens. But it's all about survival right now for this team. And it's almost like Fallout. If you survive, what are you really looking forward to after the fallout? Quick death, slow death. That's the options right now. I hate to say it, man. And again, just last night my mindset was a little bit different. I'm like, I need to have this continuity. I need, things are moving in the right direction, especially on defense. I'm sitting here saying that because I'm really believing it, and then thinking that the coach is going to make some type of adjustments. And we can, like I said, and Dwayne, I know you in it. Dwayne, you can say anything you want about Daniel Jones, but who's calling the plays? Why aren't we running the ball more? And then when we're down 17-3, why are you running the ball then with 7 minutes left in the third quarter? Like we're just some monster team that can score points. So we can slow things down? No. Keep the clock running? No. That's when we need to reserve the time. Get as many plays as possible. That's coaching. That is coaching. That's not just Daniel Jones bad quarterback play. That's coaching, man. Thomas Derby says the Giants are not a good zone blocking team. They need to run duo to set up the run. You know what? I didn't even get a chance to pay attention to the blocking scheme too much. I got to go back and watch. Did we get away? Let me know, Thomas. Did we get away from the duo? Did we go block? Did we go zone? I was so sick. I wasn't even. Let me know. I'll go back and watch it. But did we get away from? If we got away from duo, I don't know, man. And from what you're saying in this comment, it sounds like we went to zone. And boy, you if we got away from zone, I mean, if we got away from the duo, I can't wait to see what Bobby Skinner has to say on his review. For sure. I got to go back and see that though. I trust you though, Thomas. I didn't even realize that we went zone blocking. I wasn't even paying attention to that. But that would answer a lot too, because that's even more of an indictment on Brian Daboll when you know Joshua Zudo was out there. I agree with you, Alan Greenwood. Pathetic out there. Quasey says, "Give me Cutlass. He has better vision." Sydney says, "At least if we go with Cutlass, is that we good?" Oh man, Kerry Collins is 50. Somebody said something about Kerry Collins. Man, I don't know, man. I don't know. Joseph Wilcox, shout out to Joe with the $10 super chat. He said, "On that Hard Knocks, Joe Schoen thought he was in Hollywood. He struck me as being cocky. That's a fact. The man, especially about Saquon, who the owner wanted. I guess Mara won't sleep tonight. Mara, listen, forget sleeping. Mara is probably looking for the pink slips right now, holding on to the pink slips, filling them out, and just waiting to deliver them. He's going to give these guys a couple of more games. We might see something that the New York Giants don't normally do. Well, we did it against Ben McAdoo, or we did it with McAdoo and Reese, but yeah, something got to shake, man. Somebody, you know how they always say people got to have their pound of flesh, even if it's the not the right pound of flesh. You just got to give them something to chew on. It might happen that way. RTJ, what do you mean by why? I want to know what you mean by why. Mickey X says someone from the McVay tree. That's a successful tree right now. That is a successful tree, Shanahan tree as well. Those are the new trees. Oh boy, Tone Lamont, you bringing up old stuff. Brian Flores should have been the guy. Oh man, I don't even want to get into that. During that coaching hiring cycle, I was a Flores guy. I just wanted a defensive guy. But I was happy when we got Brian Daboll because of the Buffalo and how Buffalo was playing and how that offense looked, and him being the quarterback whisperer. But I was a Flores guy for sure. But I'm not going to say I wasn't happy that we got Daboll, because I was. Says Daboll is a cancer on the team. It's not even just Daboll. It's just then where's your direction coming from? Who is the guy that can say, you know what? No, stop. We need to make this adjustment, because that's what Brian Daboll was to Mike Kafka. Like, okay, no, don't do that. We need to do this. We don't have nobody on the coaching staff can go to Brian Daboll and say, you know what? No, let's not do this. Let's stick to the run early. There's nobody here to correct Brian Daboll. And you know what? I said it in the beginning of the season. I said, you know what? If Brian Daboll's going to go out, and this when we all knew he was going to be the one calling the plays, I said that Brian Daboll's going to go out. At least he goes out on his own. You know what I mean? Doing what he wants to do. Unfortunately, doing what he wants to do has not given us the results that we've been looking for, or that we're looking for. I agree with you, Thomas. I think Bill Belichick is too old. Yeah, man, he's not trying to do that. He has a legacy to protect with the Patriots, and even that is a little bit crazy now, because Tom Brady left and got a Super Bowl as soon as he left, and then the Patriots pretty much fell apart. He doesn't have it in him to come here and fix the Giants. He is too old for that, man. And these players now are too young. We saw with the Patriots. They don't react the same to coaching. It was different. It was different when I was, when I played, when you played, most likely, Thomas. It was a different kind of coaching style. We just accepted it. A lot of these kids, they different now coming up. So, they don't respect the same type of coaching. It just is what it is. That's time. Things evolve. So it is what it is with that. I agree with you, RTJ. Brian Flores is a great coach, and he's cooking right now with the Vikings. And you know what? He might be a better DC than a head coach. I don't believe that he should have been fired from the Miami Dolphins when he was, but he just didn't get along with the players. And again, we'll see. That's that Belichick tree. That's that Belichick tree. He might just be a fantastic DC. 99 yards, bro. 8 gotta go. That's what he ended up with, 99 yards, man. It's sad, man. It's sad. Let me know something, Prince. Let me know something, Prince. Tell me something, man. Said Mary ain't flipping nothing, huh? Nah, man. He gotta do something. He flipping tables and chairs though. That's what Mara's doing. He flipped the table today. He flipped his medium Pepsi. Maybe he spilled his medium Pepsi. Threw it on somebody. 28-3 at home. 0-4 at home. Season ticket holders, and it's funny too. Shout out to my man Mike C. I tweeted to him in the third quarter. I said, "You might as well head out." I said, "You might as well head out and beat the traffic." And he hit me back. He goes, "Man, I got my daughter with me. I'm not leaving yet, but I'm definitely leaving early." And like I said, that's a season ticket holder, and the tickets have been in his family for 4 generations. Great grandfather, grandfather, father, and him now. And he's my age. And they can't do it. They're fed up. They're fed up. The fans are fed up. They spend all this money, parking, tickets, food, $10 beers, $11 beers, $20, whatever it costs over there now. And this is what you do. And then and they held the booze for as long as they could. They held those booze as long as they could, but by the half, and they wasn't just booing Daniel Jones, they were booing Brian Daboll as well. And they deserved it. They deserved it. All snake eyes. That's fun. That's funny, Patrick. All snake eyes. Now, that's not the first time I saw your name. So, yeah, I appreciate that. Oh, man. All right, there we go. What you want to say, Prince? Prince says, oh, okay. He said MF don't understand what they're looking at. Use the owner of the NYG. I see a 1 in 32 owner, or 1 out of 32 owners of the NFL stock. Owners get an equal share of the NFL revenue. He won't go broke. Just our hearts will die. That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah, the owner, you can't fire the owner, especially if he's not doing anything like the Commanders owner was doing. He's not breaking any laws, doing anything like discriminatory and harassment or nothing like that. We're stuck with the Maras. We're stuck with the Maras. So since we can't get rid of the Maras, we have to beg Mara, hope that he gets the right person in here to do the job. That's all we can do right now. And until that happens, it is what it is. Sydney says heads got to roll. That's a fact. We need our pound of flesh. That's for sure. We need a body. Streets need a body. The streets need a body for sure. And I don't care which one it is, man. I don't care which one it is, but I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of it. Got a Cowboy fan in the building. What you got to say, Cowboys fan? He says, this season is over. There should be more changes. Everyone should be fired. Head coach should be fired. And the defensive coordinator should be fired. You know what? The defensive coordinator is only the bright spot outside of those big plays. But again, how much better do you feel if we stop the Philadelphia Eagles and our offense score points, and at the end of the half it's 14-14, even with those big plays being made, but it's 14-14 instead of 14-3. You feel a little bit better because that's complimentary football in it to a certain extent. But no, you give the offense had 3 chances in the first quarter, 7 chances in the first half to get some points, and what did they do? They gave us 3 points with 7 drives. No. I'm sorry. John B asked the question, are we past the point of no return now record-wise? As far as mathematics, no. Because the division, nobody has run away with the division. Actually, I'm lying, because the whole NFC North has a winning record. The whole NFC North has at least 5 to 4 wins. And I believe Yeah, yeah. So mathematically, most likely, only one team's probably coming out of the NFC East, and that's only who wins the division. And that's the way it's looking if things continue to go the way that they're going with the NFC North. If the NFC North continues to win the games, you're probably going to see 3 teams out of the NFC North, which means only the winners of the other 3 divisions are going to the playoffs. That's the way it's looking right now. So I still have to say mathematically no, but the way this offense is playing, I don't have that hope. I don't have that hope. So if you're asking me personally and not mathematically, we might be past. We might be past the point of no return. But guess what? May get a couple of wins. People, opinions might change. But right now, that's how I'm feeling right now today. I have the right to change my opinion later in the season. Oh man, Saquon, a Giant Slayer. Good Lord. He said, "Is Ryan Leaf available?" That's hilarious. Thomas Darby, 99 yards and a touchdown, 8-1. That's a fact. 3 points. Unacceptable. Yeah, man. I don't think Peyton wants to come back to the NFL and actually do some work. Like actually work. He making too much money. You got too much money to come back and actually have to work. I think he's enjoying what he's doing. That's the point too. Patrick Grove says, "What's funny is the Eagles aren't going anywhere this season. They're not going anywhere either." I can't wait to see the Commanders play the Eagles now. Because I think Dallas is cooked for the most part. The Eagles, they were looking bad until they got the get right game against us. I want to see how they play against the Commanders now. That'll let me know 2 things. Are the Eagles really, falling back, and are the Commanders really on the rise? And imagine that. Imagine that. My man Dennis says only 10 to 15 players should be back next year. Giants should look like an expansion team next year. If it's not this year coming up, it's the next year, maybe 2026, when we only, like, as far as the contracts are right now, we only got like 14 players on the contract, I think, right now for 2026, going into 2026, right now with the contracts that are currently on the books. Sheesh. That's a fact. Dwayne says we need to be sellers at the trade deadline. That's what I was saying. Yeah, when you're not winning, you're a seller at the trade deadline. We should be trying to get as much draft capital as possible. And not just, you got to get all this draft capital to get a quarterback. We just need picks all together. We need players, more players, more depth. Instead of having to go out there and pay people, we need to draft better. I appreciate you, Mickey. Mickey says, "Thanks for the stream, Big Dash." Now I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Listen, I've vented for the first 30 minutes of the pod, man, of the stream. I appreciate you guys for being in here and vibing with me, and also letting your emotions be heard in the comment section, for sure. The chat was on fire. I respect everybody in here, whether I agree with your opinion or not. I respect your opinion. I respect your comments. And again, everybody feels what they feel. Pause. And got the right to share it, for sure. For sure. But I'm upset. I'm tight still. Normally by this time I've calmed down, and I've calmed down considerably. But I'm not fully. I'm still mad. I'm still tight about the situation. I'm still mad about this loss, and it does not get any better because tomorrow's Monday, and then we get to live it all over again, because now we're going to Fox News, ESPN, all the shows, the radio stations, the fan. Oh my God, they're going to go crazy tomorrow. Crazy. Man, Patrick Grove says Washington is indeed on the rise. True. Said Daniels is hurt for the Commanders right now. He went down. Oh man, hurt. What's it look like? That's not good. Was it? Did he go down? No contact, or was he hit? Tone Blue said, "I'm not watching none of it." Listen, man. That's how I'm feeling, man. That's how I'm feeling. We hit the hour mark, man. Again, 165 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Giants fans, man, go hit that subscribe button, man. I appreciate everybody that's in here though. Then it says Daboll's playbook is picking up dog poop. Wow. So it's the ribs for Daniels. Okay. Shout out to Lucky BX. He said, I'm a big Blue fan and my wife is a Falcons fan. We got tickets for 12. Oh, yeah. Okay. Ninja, I might wear all black. Oh boy. Listen. At least that's a nice stadium. Since it's a nice stadium. You should be able to enjoy that game. Good atmosphere, good food. Just enjoy the experience. Now, your wife might leave with the bragging rights, but right now, that's probably not a surprise to you, Lucky. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that, man. Tone Lamont says, how many times did Daboll and Schoen say by week 5 teams know who they are? Listen, their own words will be used against them in the court of law. That's their comment. Will be used against them in the court of law. And Mara is the judge. Yeah. What did Joe Schoen tell Mara when Barkley was going? He said, we're going to be all right. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. Do we look all right? That's what I will put a note on Joe Schoen's door. Like, do we look all right? With a big question mark. And then sign that John Mara at the bottom. And Joe Schoen has to see that when he walks into his office. Shout out to G-Man56 says, big up, Big Daz. What's going on, G-Man? How you doing, man? I kind of have an idea how you're feeling right now, and I think the feeling is mutual throughout the whole entire room right now, but yeah, nobody's happy. Nobody's happy. Steve Wilkins says, shout out from the UK. God-awful performance from the offense again. Facts. Dave sounds done with DJ despite what he said in the presser. I got to go back and listen. Because I felt like Daboll was done last week and during the presser this week when he was talking about 16 play drives not being sustainable and stuff like that. But I'm curious what he has to say now, because things are different when your butt is on the line. When you feel like your job is on the line, things become different. And then you go into, save my own butt mode or survival mode, and you're willing to throw anything and everything under the bus. And I wonder if Brian Daboll is there yet. And then will the players respect that now? That's the question. The biggest question for Brian Daboll is, how do I keep this locker room intact? I have not seen the post-game pressers from the players yet. I haven't been able to, to check the temperature in the room. I will do that after this stream when I watch some of these other games. But that's the question that I have now for Brian Daboll, is that. Host O'Hara says, I remember the press conference before the season with Joe and Dabes. They knew this was coming. If they knew this was coming, why didn't they prepare better for it? Why didn't they prepare better for it? How did we end up with Drew Lock as the backup quarterback? When you tried to get Russell Wilson here, when you met him at Newark Airport at EWR for the impromptu, unscheduled meeting, how come you didn't try a little bit harder to get a better backup in here? Another option. If they saw this coming. Okay. Jake Patterson says, I woke up at 5 to watch this. I'm done. I can't believe it. Can't hit on explosive plays to save our life. Think our longest offensive play is 40 yards this season. That's a fact. Whatever that Darius Slayton play is, that was our longest play of the season. So that might have been around 45 to 50 yards. So you might be right. And that's a decent explosive play. But yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Look like Ransom is going back and forth. Tone Blue says he already said DJ is quarterback one. I bet he did, because Locke looked horrible when he got in there. Nobody's falling for that. I bet he did say that. Here's the thing. If Drew Lock would have had a garbage touchdown, or if the offense would have moved the ball a little bit when he got in there, then maybe you would have saw something a little bit different. As soon as we saw Drew Lock, the first play of the game, overthrow, and then the other one was too high, and then he fumbled. I think he fumbled the snap, and then he fumbled twice. And that's who Joe Schoen said, I'm comfortable with the quarterback room the way it is. He's comfortable with what he's seeing from Daniel Jones. He's comfortable with what we just saw from Drew Lock. Who's next? Tommy DeVito? Are we going to see Tommy DeVito possibly? I don't know. Hey, Jake Patterson, how do we let Tyrod walk? That wasn't it. It wasn't about letting Tyrod walk. Tyrod was done with the team. He felt disrespected. He felt like he was better than Tommy DeVito. He gave the team a better chance to win than Tommy DeVito. But what the New York Giants rode the Tommy DeVito wave, because guess what? You got 3 wins out of it. You got 3 wins in a row, I should say, from Tommy DeVito. So they rode that wave. Everybody knew Tyrod Taylor was better than Tommy DeVito at the time. So Tyrod felt slighted. And what did he do? First chance he got to get out of here, he got a bag and went down the street. Right down the street. He didn't even have to change his residence. Went right down the street. He's in Flawed Park. I'm sorry, what is it? Scotch Plains fan, whatever he is. He's in Scotch Plains, Fanwood, same there, Flawed Park, same area to me. I grew up in North Jersey. They're right next to each other. Philly said it's going to be okay. It'll be okay once y'all lose. Then it'll be okay, Philly. Shout out to Bill. Bill says, at the time, put in Tommy. At that time, yeah. Can it get any worse? Can it get any worse? But are you scared it might get better? I don't know. John Young says, Cam Ward on the way. I wish. I don't think the New York, as bad as we're playing right now, the New York Giants aren't lucky enough to get, the first overall pick or top 3 pick. As bad as things are going, we're just not that lucky. We'll win some more games this season. We'll end up probably with another top 10 pick, probably around 8, 9, or 10 or something like that if we win some more games. But imagine that. There's no situation where the New York Giants just have a guy falling in the lap, the next quarterback falling in their lap. I don't think that's going to happen. We're not that lucky. Not the way that these seasons have been piling up on us. Yeah. 3 division wins in 3 years. Yeah. So what Bill said, I overslept and I feel like I lucked out missing. You missed the game, Bill? I almost wish that I missed the game. I almost wish that I did. But no. I had a fantastic breakfast. Did some chores in the backyard early this morning. Cooked on the Blackstone, prepared myself for this game. And then, boom. Utter disappointment. Sick to my stomach. Ho says the Steelers getting 10 sacks for sure. Yeah, man. It's not good. Like, we already know what TJ Watt is. And if a guy like who went off, Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham, Nolan Smith, those guys are getting sacks, TJ is going to go off. Off. Champ, what's Champ? Wow, Champ. I never thought I would see that. Champ, you are normally very, 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 very positive. The undisputed heavyweight champion of the world says, woo! Fire Daboll now. Woo! Shout out to you, Champ. Always appreciate you, Champ. Julian Wilson Wiley. That's your whole government, man, on YouTube. Whole government. I was hoping Big Dex got his paws on. He did get his paws on him early. He did. He absolutely did. He did. Just wasn't enough. Quasi says Ric Flair wannabe. Nah, that's my man. Champion of the world. That's my man. Let him get his woos off. Tyrone Hall says we keep doing what we're doing and we'll get a top 3 pick. like I said, it's not impossible. I'm just saying, as a New York Giants fan, we don't have that type of luck. Like, there was a point in the season last year where we were slated in the second spot for the second pick, and then we ran off 3 wins with Tommy DeVito. We just don't have that type of luck. And again, I'm not with the tanking. I will never root for this team to lose. I'm just saying we're not lucky enough to get for that to happen. I hope we beat the Steelers. I hope we beat the Commanders. I hope we beat the Carolina Panthers in Germany. I'm going to keep rooting for wins. I'm just saying that's sticking with my heart, not my head, though. I got to be honest. Just being truthful with you guys. Full transparency. I don't feel good at all. Jake Patterson says, I only watch the team for defense, Neighbors, Tracy, and Newman to get a pick. I appreciate that. Patrick Grove says, New York is too great a city to be losing. Thank God the Yankees are representing. Shout out to the Yankees. Shout out to the Yankees. I should have opened up with that. The Yankees are in the World Series. Will we see a battle of the coast? Will we see that Yankees versus Dodgers? Or will it be a Subway Series like 2000 against the Mets? I don't care either way. I just love it that the Yankees are representing. Do some cleaning up here. Got some trolls in the comments. Okay, clean that up. I need, you know what? I need some people in here that can do the cleaning up for me. For sure. Dennis Never says, does Daboll suck? Let me check the tape. Yep, he sucks. Yeah, man. It's sad too, man, because I had high hopes for Daboll. Even yesterday, I was saying, you know what, he can do some things. He can be creative. He can be the guy. And then he went, like I said, if you look at the Cincinnati Bengals game, it looks like the same exact game plan. It's just you don't have Malik Neighbors. And then we all thought when we got Malik Neighbors back, not exactly knowing what he was going to look like, but the first play of the game, you get Malik Neighbors the ball, is the first down. Okay, let's do it. But nobody else was involved. Wan'Dale Robinson with the drop again on a third down. What are we doing, man? What are we doing? No, like, you can almost draft over anybody. Outside of Malik Neighbors, you can draft over Wan'Dale, you can draft over Slayton, you can draft over Hyatt. When you look at the offensive line, you're going to start like Van Roten, Luminor. Those guys are getting older. You have to start drafting backups for those guys too. Eventual guys that are going to take over. That's what we need to start thinking about. The window on this regime is closed, man. Right now, as is the way things are built. Whether you want to say Daniel Jones or not, nah, man. What we talking about, Prince? Said waste of carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen. What we talking about, Prince? Jake Patterson says firing Daboll ain't the answer. You can't just keep changing the system when Daboll has proven has a proven record of being a solid offensive guru. It's just that DJ is that bad. It makes him bad. That's what I thought last night, Jake Patterson. That's exactly what I thought last night. And you do have a point. Absolutely. The quarterback does matter. When you say that Brian Daboll is a guru and he has a proven record, that proven record is with Josh Allen. And he runs the same exact plays as if the New York Giants have Josh Allen. QB power, QB design runs. We don't have Josh Allen. And last time I checked, it ain't too many Josh Allens out there that can run that type of offense. So at some point in time, he has to make the adjustment to what his roster is and the talent on the team. He needs to realize who he has back there and call a different game. Set up different plays, be even more creative, because what you go to, your bread and butter, is not what you have here, and that's what the roster dictates. He has to be better. Firing Daboll, I don't like. I do not. I don't like firing Daboll. Let me say that. It's just that do you continue this to keep going? If you say that Daniel Jones is the issue, bench Daniel Jones, because if you don't bench Daniel Jones, that's saying that you're okay with what's going on right now, and he can't survive that, in my opinion. So yes, I was on the same thing you were on, Jake Patterson. I appreciate the comment. I did agree with you for a while, but unless he makes a change, he will go down with the ship. It's the Titanic. He's the captain. He's the captain. That's a fact. Anthony Ellison, that's what I did. But Daniel Jones isn't Josh Allen. You can't run an offense for Josh Allen when you don't have Josh Allen. Josh Allen is not like is unlike any other quarterback in the league. There's only one Josh Allen that does. He like even though Daniel Jones might be the same size as Josh Allen, has similar athleticism, he's not the same. He's not the same. Not the same. So yeah, you thought it might have worked and you might have had some success before, but no. But no, you have to make the change. You have to make an adjustment. And if you're so creative, and again, an offensive mind, like everybody's been telling me, you should be able to make some adjustments and win. We saw you win with Tommy DeVito. We saw you do that. We saw you put a game plan together for Tommy DeVito and was successful. But you can't do that with Jones. And yes, Jones is the issue, but what you're doing with Jones is also an issue. Because you didn't call those same type of QB powers when you had Tommy DeVito in there last year. You didn't do that because he's not that type of guy. And Daniel Jones is not a Josh Allen type of guy either. Quiz says Daboll is going to get fired, go back to the Bills, and watch the offense look amazing. That's something that could happen. That's something that could happen. But they do have Joe Brady right now. And Joe Brady's looking pretty good as offensive coordinator. So that might not be the spot for Brian Daboll. Brian Daboll will definitely land somewhere if the New York Giants fire him, but also he's still going to get paid. This is his third season. Usually coaches have a 5-year contract. He's still going to get paid if he doesn't make it out of this season. But he'll land somewhere for sure. He's not horrible. He's just horrible. The roster is bad and it just makes everything worse. If the roster, and not even a roster, if the quarterback was different, he probably would be a little bit better. But again, you decided to roll the dice with Daniel Jones, so it is what it is. That's the bed that you made. You have to go lay in it. You and Shane might have been the head, the lead to this whole situation, but you didn't fight hard enough or push back hard enough against Joe Shane, and it is what it is. Official Mark Anthony says that's the dumbest take. Let me know what's the dumbest take. Again, I welcome all debates. Let me know what you mean by what's the dumbest take. Appreciate you. Jake Patterson, then watch we fire Daboll and he turns the Panthers into a good team because as soon as everyone leaves, he was like I'm saying. Listen, I understand. Like I understand. Like wanting Brian Daboll to succeed, feeling like he's a good coach. No, I agree with that. I'm just saying right now the New York Giants are bad. A bad team, no matter what's going on. But it is what it is. Official Mark Andy says the dumbest take is saying DJ can stay and Daboll can go. Oh, he wasn't talking to me. Now listen, I got that's a little crazy. That's a little crazy. I won't say dumb because it's out of respect for people's opinions. That's a little crazy though. That's a little crazy. Prince, DJ got to go. Prince, wow, Prince. That's saying a lot. If my man Prince Castro was saying DJ got to go, and this man, when I tell you Prince was on the front line for Daniel Jones for years, on the front line, taking all the smoke, for him to say that's big. That's big. And you can see the tears after that. It's not coming lightly, for sure. TD Minor says DJ should get used to holding that iPad. Yeah, won't be for the Giants, so not for $40-something million next year. I'm telling you, I know Prince. Even with me and you went back and forth over DJ. All the smoke. You was right there defending that man to the death, talking Jon Snow, Game of Thrones. Y'all know the scene I'm talking about. Battle of the Bastards. Y'all know the scene I'm talking about. That was Prince, Jon Snow. That was Prince. Shout out to the Game of Thrones fans, man. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Battle of the Bastards. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just a nerd like that. I love Game of Thrones. Blazing Brazen says, I have never hated the New York Giants player ever until I've seen Daniel Jones play. Yeah. And the funny thing about it is, I don't hate Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones didn't say draft me at 6. Daniel Jones is who he is. We made him our starting quarterback, and then we decided to re-sign him. He's playing to the best of his ability. That's what Daniel Jones is doing. And you can't hate somebody for playing to the best of their ability. But you can do is hate the people that put him in the position to play or look as bad as he's looking for so long. That's who's really to blame. I can't hate a man for trying his best. He just ain't it. Says you never seen his daddy Dave Brown. Oh man. DJ equals disgraceful joke. Good Lord. You guys are going off. Keep it respectful. Keep it respectful in the comment section. Again, this is a comment section, social media. You know, things might get misconstrued, but if you guys are really going after each other, make it clear. Make it clear. I don't want anybody getting heat, getting smoke for something like that. And Prince, calm down, Prince, just a little bit. Just a little bit, brother. Just a little bit. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. TK20 said, let's call up Vinny Testaverde. That's an old name, bro. That's an old name. Brian Sutton says, we got rid of Saquon for this mess. Oh, man. Oh, man. All right, man. Y'all threw jabs at each other. Ransom. Y'all threw jabs at each other. Let's put everything to the side. It's emotional. It's emotional right now. Giants lost. I understand. Let's be respectful. Glenn Harp says Daniel Jones is horrible, but I'm not judging him at all. He does not at all. He does not franchise quarterback. He does. Well, I'm assuming you're talking about his play. He's not a franchise quarterback. No. He is a subpar starter in the league. He will be a fantastic backup. And who knows? Maybe a different system. He can do what Sam Darnold is doing right now. But right now, it doesn't matter because with my team, it is what it is. You guys are funny, man. You guys are funny. Brian Sutton also says all Giants fans should go watch HBO Hard Knocks. We have. And see how bad they tried to justify not signing Saquon and keeping DJ. I spoke about that earlier in this stream. They made the bed that they're laying in right now. Nobody's safe in my opinion. Nobody should be safe in my opinion. If you're going to get rid of Brian Daboll, I believe Joe Schoen should go too. His first 2 draft classes, you're getting some good things. This draft class is probably his best draft class. We're getting the most out of the rookies in this draft class. Theo Johnson's a starter. Phillips a starter. Newbin's a starter. These guys are making plays. But it took you, 2 seasons to get things right. So I'm not shedding a tear for Joe Schoen if he goes down with the ship too. You might see an entirely new regime. You might see, but guess what? When we say that, we might see an entirely new regime, and you think like, oh, now it's going to take a whole, 3 or 4 years for the New York Giants to get back on track. I would tell you to go look at the Washington Commanders. They took it one step further. They had an entirely new new owner, new GM, new head coach. And right now they are running a division. It does not take that long if you have the right people in place and you have the right players in place. And also if you have a franchise quarterback. And right now it looks like, I don't know how bad the injury is with Jaden Daniels, but he's been playing at a high level, not just a rookie of the year type level, but a possible MVP type level. It should not take you 4 years to rebuild a franchise. We've seen it happen a lot of times now. There are some pieces here already. The defense is pretty doggone good. The offensive line was ranked pretty high until this game and the last game, and we're missing an all-pro guy. We have weapons on the outside. There's pieces here to be successful. It's not like you're going to blow it up from the ground, knock it all the way down to the ground and rebuild it. No, there is some rebuilding that has to happen, some renovations, but there are some pieces here that you can build with, and that's just something that has to happen. Maybe the reset button, reboot. Got going on here. Somebody let me know the score of that Commanders game too when you guys get a chance. Black Thor says Cam Ward or Shador Sanders, we welcome you. We welcome you. Oh man, Brian says all it takes is a quarterback. LOL. I saw the Commanders play us this year. Them fans are happy to have a QB for once. We haven't had one since 2011, 2012 Eli. Yeah, what a difference a quarterback makes, and you know it right away when you see it. When we played the Commanders, I was still in my bag of it's the Commanders. Yeah, I know they got a quarterback, but you see what's going on, man. You see what's going on, and from afar, I can admire it. And that's the difference. And you're absolutely right. The fan base for the Commanders are absolutely. Even with the loss to the Ravens last week, they are still on cloud nine. And we'll see what happens this game. Because again, oh wow, 27-0 Commanders are win. Me too, Thunder. Me too. I'm sick. I am sick too, man. Banks, yeah. We seen it 2 weeks in a row where he just gave up on a play when he could have made a play. That when Buddy missed that sack today, Adams missed that sack today, and Hurts got out. Banks could have got him. He started jogging, and then Hurts got like another 6 or 7 yards after that. I don't know. I don't know what it is. And again, when you start seeing players quit on plays, that's coaching. That's coaching. You can blame the player too, but a lot of that has to do with coaching, because if the coaching that held people accountable, you won't see guys quit like that. So that was the one saving grace for Brian Daboll right now. I think that's the last thing. If he can keep this locker room intact, that's one thing. But once you lose the locker room, there's no hope for you. And that's even moving forward. Once you lose the locker room, once you lose the respect of the players, it is done no matter what you do. You can get the franchise quarterback. You can do whatever you think you can do, make all the right moves. But once the respect for the coach is gone, and I'm not saying it's gone yet, but once that is lost, it's over for whoever that person is that they call head coach. It is. I'm sick of the offense too. I'm sick of the offense. Not true. Not true. Locker room been lost. Not true. They like I said, Daboll still had the ears of the locker room, because these guys are going out there playing hard. They're finishing games. This is the first time, because even in the Bengals game, there wasn't a real quit in the game. I saw a quit today. They did sit some people, but I saw some quit today, and I didn't like it. And this is the first time I saw quit for a Brian Daboll ran team. First time I saw the team actually quit a little bit. And I didn't like it. Didn't like how it felt. I'm gonna go back and watch this game again though, for sure. That's a fact, Gino. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He said the defense quit in the second half. Who runs the offense? But it's why the defense quit. The defense was holding up and the offense did nothing with it. What's your job for a defense? Your job on defense is to stop the offense in front of you and get your offense the ball back. And that's exactly what they did. That's exactly what the defense did. And ultimately, again, Barkley got the big play, but that's what the defense did. They did that more than gave up touchdowns. Philly punted a lot in this game, a lot. And that's the job for the defense. And if you're playing complementary football, you're supposed to score when your offense is on the field. It is what it is. But they need to tackle. Yeah, I understand that. They did miss some tackles. Landis is saying bench Danny Dimes now. What about the O-line? O-line was bad. O-line was bad unless you're still going back and forth. The O-line was bad this game. The offensive line has been playing well this season, but this game, no Andrew Thomas, no chip blocking, no tight end help. We saw what happened. O-line was getting killed this game, absolutely. I don't. Oh, not you, Anthony. Sorry. Where'd it go? Thunder. I don't fully agree with that. Azudu absolutely is. We need a better option at left tackle with Andrew Thomas out of it. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not going to defend this team, especially not after this game. So I'll leave it alone. Gino, I do not want Illuminor move to left tackle. Not at all. Just put Neil out there. Get the guy off the practice squad out there. The right side is what it is. We don't have a better swing tackle. Blame that on Joe Schoen. Yes, Illuminor did play left tackle with the Raiders out of necessity. But guess what? When you move Illuminor to the left to the left side, what does that do? You just shifted a hole from the left side to the right side. It's still the same backup players. But now you're making two adjustments instead of one. Brasillo said the same thing. He'd rather not move two people when he can move just one. Who knows, though? After a loss as bad as this, maybe they do put Illuminor on the left side. But then next thing you know, you'll see the pressure come off the right side. And then it becomes a problem, too. There's really no fixing it right now with the current guys that are on the roster right now. Who's the swing tackle? It is what it is, man. It is what it is. But we are an hour and a half in here. I'm about to shut this thing down, try to enjoy some of the rest of these games, and then get ready for Sunday Night Football again. For you guys that know, my wife is a Steelers fan. They play tonight. But I'm trying to ease into that game, calm down a little bit. But I appreciate everybody for rocking with me. I'll read a few more comments before I get out of here. And also to end this back and forth between Rand and Prince Castro. You guys are hilarious, man. You guys are hilarious, man. Oh man. But yeah, man, I do want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out, please. If you didn't hit it on the way in, hit it on the way out, pause. And then, I appreciate the love and support you guys have for the channel. And again, we just vibing. Therapy session, letting out all the anger. And I appreciate everybody for doing that. And for the most part, keeping it respectful. In the chat section, man. Shout out to everybody though, for real. But yeah, I'm about to get out of here, man. You guys have a good rest of your day. Tomorrow is going to suck. It is not a victory Monday. If you got to go to work and you don't work around Giants fans, expect to get the butter jokes and all that other stuff. But again, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows Big Blue Nation.